Starting today off on a somber note, Dale Amador just got thrown onto the injured list with a broken or fractured arm, in which he will miss 1 to 2 months. Lewis Pittman also had a fractured forearm this time, also 1 to 2 months. That wasn't too far away. So we have Enrique Benitez out for probably another month, a couple of weeks at least. Pittman and Amador starting lengthy rehab stints. Another about month for David Howard. So what do we do to fill out second base? Well, if we look internally, if you look at the Major League roster, of the players that can play second base for us, Jazz Chisholm, but that opens up a hole in left field or center field. Do we trust Leland Metzger to get big at-bats? And I'm not quite sure. Obviously, we can just plug in Osiris Johnson, but I like his bench versatility. I don't think this is an offense. I don't think I want to put him out there every day. I think having him get his at-bats because of his versatility instead of having him start is better for us. Nolan Gorman also could try his hand at second base. I mean, we've seen him do it before. He's been mostly a DH for us, but I think this might be the best avenue, at least as of right now. Don't want to move Tovar off of shortstop. He is too good fielding to move off of shortstop, and then so we would have to replace shortstop, which we don't really have anybody on that roster. So if we do move Gorman to second base, I think it's Tyrone Gehringer comes in, and then also we bring in a guy like William Kang. Let's check down in the minor leagues, see who's doing what. Robert Cairo is an option, a guy that did not get put onto the 40-man roster, but he continues to play extremely well. Already a 1 WAR in about 30 games here in his first stint in AAA, which has gone quite nice with his 25 RBI from the lead-off spot. He has the plate skills. The fielding just is not there, and we pride ourselves as being one of the better fielding teams. That's kind of gone down with some of the moves we've had to make, so adding Cairo here isn't the best. And even then, we're still going to be DHing whoever we bring up. It would be DHing Cairo in that case. Emery Morales just got called up here. William Kang, again, is that first guy off the bench, or the first guy to bring up. We can platoon him and Gehringer, and he's already had some major league experience getting a hit in 4 games, but nothing too crazy. Other than that, I mean, Christian Nam can come in. Derek Brasheen, Fred Gerber has been playing okay. So it's between Robert Cairo and William Kang for the most part. And the more I think about it, the more I sit on it, it might be time for Robert Cairo. What is Kang and Gehringer offer pretty much the same skill set, where Gehringer's way better against lefties, offers less pop. Or at least Cairo adds an element of speed. He'd play against righties, which he's already kind of better at. Would hit in the bottom of our lineup. Can add that speed element. Add some infield flexibility in case we need it. And then Gehringer, Metzger. Or do we do that? Do we kind of just Gehringer and Metzger this thing? Would be interesting too. And then bring up Kang to be our bet. I think we're going to do that. I think we're going to give a shot to the guys who we have up here in case we need to make a move. We have 2 months to make this decision, basically. If someone's not performing, we can move something around. I think we're going to move William Kang up. A corresponding move to that would be Derek Conley up to AAA, which clears a path for, I think, Howard Madrigal to finally get some upper minors experience. It should be nice. If we look at the lineups here, here's what I am thinking. Against right-handed bats, I think we're going to put Leland Metzger and make Jazz Chisholm our second baseman. Our number 2 hitter, I think as of right now, it could be Sterling Thompson. Nolan Gorman also having a very hot start. You go Jazz at the number 2 as well. There's a couple different options. I'll change what the lineup looks like, but I guess against righties, we're going to put Metzger in there in left field. Against lefties, we will put Gorman at second base and Gehringer in the DH spot. I think this gives us the best flexibility. William Kang now becomes our first guy off the bench bat-wise as a pinch hitter. Also has some corner infield and corner outfield experience as well. That's how we're going to go, and that's how we're going to start off today's episode, I guess. So we will kick off here with our first game against Pittsburgh, a team that we took to 7 games in the NLCS. They look a lot different, but they still are good. We're 21-17. They are, what did that say, like 20-18, something like that. They have some new faces, Noelvi Marte and Colson Montgomery on that left side of the infield being notable ones. And here's what Marte has done so far. 5 home runs in his limited time, including an .837 OPS so far this year. He's been a stud. He's always been a stud. It's nice to see some of those pieces move, but they were able to use that money elsewhere. Anthony Solometo, a guy that actually low-key kind of put us in our place when we faced off against him in the playoffs, a 3.55 ERA, 3-2 record in 7 games started this season. And his first assignment for the Rockies will be Troy Wood and company. Tyrone Gehringer, however, is going to inside out this fastball and dump it down for the first base hit of the afternoon. And again, Gehringer getting the start against lefties now that we have a hole in our lineup. Unfortunately, makes way to Nolan Gorman, who gets tied up, and it's a cleanish first inning for the Pirates. No runs come across the score for the Rockies as they continue to struggle a little bit offensively when we see them play. James Mora, though, struggling a little bit, 4.34 ERA. We're just waiting for the moment to click where everyone in rotation has like sub-2 ERAs. I think they have the talent. They can evolve into there. And they are still young. I feel like we see them pitch so often, but most of those guys are 27 years old or younger, and most of them are younger than 27. And Mora against Marte gets him to ground over to Tovar. It's a easy play for him, not so much easy play for everybody else, but Tovar's able to make the play, and a clean first for James Mora. Up ahead to the bottom of the 3rd inning, Jace Bowen's going to lay down a bunt. Sterling Thompson's going to try to let it play, and if he fielded it, no chance. If he let it go, no chance. That's the only kind of play he had, was see if it will go foul. Nick Gonzalez next up. He hits this one high and deep right field, and that will get over the wall. Langford has to look up and watch, and that is a home run for Nick Gonzalez, his second of the season. He hit it particularly well, but he got enough of it to shoot it over that wall in right field, attack the Allegheny, and the Pirates are up 2-0 early on against the Colorado Rockies here in this 3rd inning. Noelvi Marte now working with a runner on first base. 1-2 count, and Marte goes down swinging over the top of the fastball. So Nick Gonzalez gets them started. A once highly touted prospect, now kind of just end of the order bat. He does enough there. Tommy Domine taking a page of Gehringer's book and going the other way, but a little too big for his britches is Mark Winchester in a easy just toss from right field. Didn't even look like he put too much sauce into it. Was that Andy Rodriguez? The catcher with that arm gets another catcher out in Winchester, and that will do it. Just as when you think we have something cooking, we fall behind the 8 ball yet again. Still trail by 2. All the way in the 6th inning now. Nothing has been going on in this game. Solometo still out there, and Gehringer picks up the walk. So at least we haven't seen James Moore, which means for the most part he's been doing pretty good. Langford changeup smacked left field. Goodbye. Tie ball game. We're just talking about this game. Looks like it's going through and nothing's happening. And all of a sudden, Wyatt Langford said, yeah, something's happening. On a line drive, home run in every sense of the word Got that changeup down the middle, right thigh length, exactly where a power hitter like him likes it. And he goes over the left field wall. That will be a tie ball game. And just like that, Solomento will have to watch the rest of the game from the bench as he has been taken out. And we'll see who will replace him. That's going to be Jack Flaherty. Former starter has found a nice little niche here in the Pirates bullpen, helping out when he can. And he will take the bump with a 4.76 ERA in 39 innings so far this year. 2 outs here in the 6th, and Flaherty is going to give up a base hit to Mark Winchester. Montgomery knocks it down, but even Winchester and his 0 speed is going to get over to first base just fine. Tommy Domine, 2-2 count. He's late on the fastball, and that will be enough room to put it away for the rest, for the inning. So, inning's over. Wyatt Langford does make his presence felt, does make his presence known as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning, tied up at 2 apiece. James Mora still out here, 76 pitches so far. Base hit to Henry Davis as Jazz Chisholm fires back in. That's a base runner for the Pirates. Colson Montgomery now up to bat, 1 for 2 on the day. Make it 2 for 3, and this into the gap. The speed of Davis will be enough to score him. Chisholm does track it down and keep Montgomery to a double, but that will be an RBI double for Colson Montgomery and put the Buccos back up top. It's 3-2 now, and Mora just getting hit a little too hard here. And again, he's been excellent to this point. Can't really blame him. We're going to go through our options. We're going to walk Steve Cedeno. We do have some double barrel action in our bullpen. We know what Cedeno can do against us. We saw what he was able to do in the postseason. Jace Bowen the other way. Langford comes up firing, and that's going to be 4-2 Pittsburgh, and that might be it for James Mora. I would assume this is going to be the end of his road, especially with Nick Gonzalez coming back up. And that's exactly what will happen. We will lift Mora. We'll go talk to him. And it's going to be time for Bo Brisky, as we are going to go out to the mound and go get Bo Brisky, who has been phenomenal for us this season. Since we got him in the Rule 5 draft, he's been such a find for us. A 1.79 ERA in 10 innings pitch. Barely gives up any hits against lefties, and strikes out about a quarter of the batters he faces. And this is exactly what we need in the situation to keep this game at bay here in the 6th. Nick Gonzalez in full count, circle change right at the knees, froze him, and Brisky gets out of the inning. However, a couple of hits and a run for the Pirates. 2 runs for the Pirates as they take the 4-2 lead. Nate Pearson got the 8th, and he ends up with a strikeout on Cedeno as we head to the top of the 9th. And old friend alert, Ryan Helsley. Yes, Ryan Helsley, the new closer for the Pirates, going to come here, try to slam the door against the team he just won a World Series ago a couple months. Won a World Series 4 just a couple of months ago. He's 13 of 15 save opportunities, a sub-2 ERA, and it's Nolan Gorman, who's 0 for 3 on the day. Face off against Helsley. First thing. Again, fireballer, absolute filth. We saw him just dice up lineups, including this Pirates lineup a couple of times in the playoffs. Hanging breaking ball and just not getting enough of it. Just under the pitch. That is a home run ball 98% of the time that Nolan Gorman swings it, something like that. And we just, unfortunately, we're in the timeline where we got that 2% outcome. They lose Mark Winchester, so a runner on first base. The tying run at the plate, and Domine decides he wants to go home early. Round the horn, 5-4-3 double play, and that will do it for this one. The Pirates hold on to win. This is a really, really good Pirates team. They're going to be competing for one of these top spots in the National League pennant race, and they very well could win the division. And they take a 2-0 series lead against us with a 4-2 victory. And Ryan Helsley coming in, closing the door, wasn't very nice. I will admit that. Not very nice of him to do that to us. But here's how the box score looked. 2 hits for Mark Winchester, and that was really about it. Wyatt Langford did have that 2-run home runs, and that was really our only offensive output today. Just couldn't really muster up extra base hits. Couldn't string anything together. Mora, 5 2/3, 4 earned runs, 6 strikeouts. Brisky and Pearson were good out of the bullpen, but nothing really going on for us. And for the Pirates, they did enough. A couple of hits from Montgomery, a couple of hits from Jace Bowen, and they both drove in pretty big runs. And obviously, you add that Nick Gonzalez 2-run home run, and that's your ball game. Solamento, 5 1/3, 2 runs, 2 earned, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. And then Flaherty, Fleming, Foley, Helsley combined 1 hit, 1 walk, no runs. Not going to win too many times doing that and not letting a bullpen dominate you like that. Anyway, we return to Colorado to face off against the Washington Nationals, and this is an especially heartbreaking time because this is the return of Nolan Jones. Yes, we did lose Nolan Jones in free agency. I don't know what rock you've been living under. I think even rocks get that type of service. But Nolan Jones in the nation's capital now, wanted to be closer to home after winning 2 World Series with the Rockies. We offered the better offer, but it's what it is. And it's Bud Leonard on the bump taking on the Nationals, and Royce Lewis is his first strikeout victim. He gets him on the curveball there. De La Rosa, he's gone by way of the K. Strikeout number 2. Now Nolan Jones, 290 hitter. Bud Leonard is going to get him to chop to Tovar, and Jones will not hurt us, at least right now. So that's good. That's okay. I'm good with that. All right. Nolan Jones wearing anything other than purple and black makes me upset. Chase Dollander not wearing our colors anymore doesn't make me as upset, but he's found himself a nice little home here in the nation's capital. 3.81 ERA, a 59 innings pitch, better than any pitcher we've had so far this year, but I'm not too upset about the Chase Dollander trade. The move, I think it is fine, and I think both teams benefited from it. That's just my opinion. Gives up a base hit to Jazz Chisholm, now up to the 2-hole in the lineup. Gets a curveball that he smacks on the ground. Very lucky, Dollander. Usually curveballs are hit that hard by Jazz Chisholm don't stay in the yard, but he was lucky there. Wyatt Langford, he goes inside out, and our new Nolan Jones, unfortunately that's who he's going to be compared to. He goes and gets a single. Later on, Tommy Domine, 2 runners on in scoring position and behind the 4-seam fastball, and that will leave a pop-up in the infield, and no runs will be scored. DeAndre Jordan, an absolute stud. In every sense of the word, he comes up and he picks on Bud Leonard. He goes the other way, gapping for the double. And DeAndre Jordan, one of the best rebounders in NBA history, and also one of the best hitting catchers in MLB history. What a guy. Yohandy Morales gets a curveball in the air with DeAndre Jordan at third base, even though Jordan isn't exactly a speedster. Plenty of time, plenty of distance for him to trot home, and that would be 1-0 Nationals. Dollander, curveball, middle of the plate, and for the second time, we see Wyatt Langford go yard on a line drive to left field that helps plate 2 as Langford, his 16th home run this early in the season. He has been incredible. Wyatt Langford does it again, moves the needle for us, and we take the lead now 2-1. On an incredible swing by Langford. 104 off the bat. Gorman up the middle, dive at shortstop, and if it wasn't for a tough scoop, would have been a crazy play by Royce Lewis, I don't know why they would give him the error on that. That's either an E3 or just a base hit. I think the degree of difficulty comes in there, but what do I know? And the slider gets Domine down swinging. So we do add a couple with Wyatt Langford. He goes yard. Very fun, very nice. It is 2-1. The Nationals trail the Rockies. Nolan Jones up now, and this is mashed. All you can do is laugh. You can shed a tear. But Nolan Jones hitting home runs in Colorado, his first trip back since not denouncing the team, but moving on from the team that brought him 2 World Series championships. He goes yard against them. Former teammates. I'm sure he's faced that Bud Leonard changeup multiple times. Doesn't also help that he hung it right down the fucking middle. But Nolan Jones goes yard in his Nationals debut here at Coors Field. Coors! Nolan Jones. We're going to pour one out now. No more of that. That was fun, cool, but no more of that. We don't want to see that anymore. Okay. Yeah, let's show this replay 36 times. Good job. Here he is again, Nolan Jones. He's back up. He goes the other way. This one is smacked. If this gets down, that's a run, and it will not get down as we head to the middle of the 6th inning. So Bud Leonard shoring himself up, really coming into his own, and doing well. And we have this game still tied here as we're in the bottom of the 6th. Ezequiel Tovar 0 for 2, chopper up the middle through everybody. Now you got 2 on to begin the inning, and the bottom of the order coming up. So you have guys like Drew Romo, Sterling Thompson's going to be up next, and then Leland Metzger, I think, at the very bottom there. We will see what we have as Dollander is gone from this one. They kicked him to the curb, and they're going to bring in Jesus Acevedo, 3.79 ERA in 29 games already. Has already pitched 78 innings. That's more than the starters have. So they really rely heavily on Acevedo, and Sterling Thompson is glad they do. He is going to single this one into right field. They're going to move the runners up just slightly. They don't want to test that arm of Nolan Jones. They've seen too many times what he can do in this ballpark. And Sterling Thompson continues to come up clutch for us here at the bottom of this lineup. Ever since that second half of last season, he has been spectacular. Drew Romo gets a slider. Is this enough to bring home the runner? We'll see. De La Rosa fires it in, and just behind Tovar is the throw, and we score a second run in this inning. Troy Wood trying to keep the good times going here with 2 outs in the inning. Acevedo gets the rolled over cutter, and that will do it. So the inning comes to a close. We do add a couple, which is nice. But yeah, we take the lead, and we will turn it over to the final third of this game. Is Bud Leonard still going to be out there? How much longer? When's the bullpen going to come into effect? Jordan Kelenic and Morales are going to be yours in the 7th. But we pick it back up in the 8th inning. Roger Calderon in now, and Luis Garcia goes the other way and gets a double into the corner, which Troy Wood goes and gathers. So Royce Lewis up now, and 2 outs in the inning, and Domine's there to spear it out of the air. Would have been a foul ball anyway, but Domine playing no doubles defense, able to spear that and keep the Nationals off the board yet again. Top of the 8th, Domine. Now it's his turn to bat, and he obliterates one. Cutter down the middle. Acevedo still in. Again, they like to use him for a long time, and Domine goes yard. Tough start to his season. Hopefully this gets him back on track. 5th home run as we finish month number 2 of the season. He got all that one, and not even a doubt about it. Sterling Thompson continues the good times. He goes the other way late on the fastball, which is his natural bat-to-ball skills. His cone or whatever, his bat path sits in the zone so long. That radius and that angle and that whatever that he generates to get hits, it's high. Leland Metzger, not so much. as he pops this one up late on it, and nothing will come of it. As we still get the one off of Domine, add a little bit of extra insurance just in case. And this should bring in our closer. And it will be just that. Tanner Scott, not the best start of his Rockies career. He's getting up some runs, blown some saves. It hasn't been particularly fantastic, but does get a swing and a miss on a fastball. De La Rosa. Nolan Jones, he's looking. Another strikeout for Tanner Scott. Very good. DeAndre Jordan, 2-2 count. Lifts into right field. Langford's under it. Clean ninth inning and a save for Tanner Scott. And that will bring the Rockies the win. Love to see it. Love to see it. Love to see it. Metzger and company shake hands in the outfield, and we got some good contributions. A couple home runs to go around. The offense did enough. The pitching was great, obviously. Bud Leonard going a good mount there, getting his 4th win of the season. Saw some old friends, old faces, and we tied this series up 1-1 as we take down the Nationals, who are looking to threat for the playoffs for the first time in a while. Did lose Dylan Cruz, but did get Nolan Jones. He had a home run in his return back to Colorado. DeAndre Jordan, obviously incredible. We held this offense to just 4 hits, 2 doubles and a home run, but we didn't let them do really much else with it. So I will take it. Royce Lewis, I think unfairly credited with an error, but it is what it is. Dollander, 5 innings, 4 earned, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, and Acevedo got 3 innings, gave up 1 on that home run, and that was it for the pitching staff. For us, 2 hits from Langford, 3 hits from Sterling Thompson. We mix it up a bit. Domine and Langford went yards. Sterling Thompson had the double, and RBIs from Domine, Drew Romo, Wyatt Langford, and Sterling Thompson. Bud Leonard, 7 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned, 7 strikeouts, and the bullpen, Calderon and Scott, untouchable. We end May kind of like May went very like just like April did. It was a start, and then kind of came on late here. It was basically a 500 month, I believe 14 and 13 if I counted correctly. And right now, again, we're dealing with injuries. We're dealing with a lot of stuff right now. Some of our minor league guys that got injured at the very beginning of the season starting to crawl back. If we check on the standings right now, second in the National League West, we would have the second wild card, 2 games behind the Braves. Ended today. Little tied with the Dodgers, or have like a half game above the Dodgers. Pirates leading in the Central. They had a really, really good month. Marlins, Braves, the top runners in the East, and then the rest of those 2 divisions kind of in the dumpster. But the West also, it seems like it's very top heavy. You got like 6 or 7 teams really in it, and the rest are really out of it. So this is going to be very interesting with June, how that goes. If one team can turn around, like this is a very pivotal month for basically the playoffs. I mean, if we just hover, if these 3 teams hover and these guys don't show up, then this playoff race might be in the bag, as a lot of these guys are probably going to be selling come July. In the American League, a little more competitive. It is the Blue Jays out ahead of everybody, but the Rays right behind them in the Central. The Guardians and Twins are locked up. A game and a half separate those guys. And then the Angels out ahead. They spent a lot of money the last couple of years. Got some of the best players in the league on their team now. Max Clark, Evan Carter, just to name a few. And then the Athletics behind them, they've steadily built themselves up. Blue Jays, Rays, I mean, I guess whoever wins that would be division. Whoever doesn't would be the top wild card spot, with the Twins and Orioles behind them. Athletics, Rangers, Yankees, all separated by a game or 2. Some more statistics before we get out of here. Bobby White still struggling. J.J. Rose, his numbers are going up a little bit, which is not great. Bud Leonard, a high ERA. It just hasn't been the great pitching year for us. Again, we look at the FIP, and I mean the per 9s and FIP are good on Garcia. The per 9s and FIP are good on Mora. The per 9s and FIP have some. I mean, the walks are pretty high. The FIP's a little high. J.J. Rose, his numbers are good, walking a lot of guys though. And then Bobby White, his numbers are coming down a little bit, but that home run still is high, and then that FIP still above there. Justin Little getting a lot of innings. I think we're going to try to move him around just to kind of move around his innings so he's not being, throwing 900 innings in his first go around in the league. He's been awesome in the times that he has pitched, so we'll give him a little bit of a rest. The rest of our bullpen has been pretty solid for the most part. Tanner Scott is trying to turn things around. Roger Calderon sitting on 99 career saves. Already has 2 this season. Brisky's been phenomenal. Parra's been great. Powell came up. We did send down Vinny Garcia, but then he came back up after an injury. And then Holden Powell came up to take his place, and he's pitched okay in 4 innings. Nate Pearson starting to figure things out. On the lineup side of things, Troy Wood doing okay. Jazz Chisholm continues to have an MVP type start. Wyatt Langford not too far behind him, and Nolan Gorman not too far behind him. Tommy Domine is struggling again. This 2030, which I thought was going to be more of the sign of things to come, it seems like regressing back down as Domine, and I don't want this to be another one of those contracts that we regret. Ezekiel Tovar been doing okay. Sterling Thompson having a real solid start to his year. Drew Romo just doing Drew Romo things. Again, offense isn't going to wow you, but doing enough with the glove to get a 1 WAR so far. And Leland Metzger has been getting the starts against righties. The power is coming along a little bit, but nothing too crazy. OPSs for all these guys as follows. Sterling Thompson, a really good OPS in the 800s. Tovar around 700, which isn't great. Tommy Domine down to about 630, which is down to about like when we were benching him and sending him down to the minor leagues. So we don't like to see that. Gorman, really good OPS. Langford, a really good OPS. Chisholm, an OPS in the 1,000. And then, Troy Wood doing it okay. Garinger not hitting against lefties like we need him to. Kang has only played in 1 game. Mark Winchester, 8 home runs already in 30 games. He is off to a very hot start. And then Osiris Johnson just doing all right. See you next time with some more Colorado Rockies. See if June can be the month we really turn it on. And I think we have some good teams to play. We have a mixture of bad teams and good teams. So we will see you. Most likely we'll do a World Series showdown against Houston. But we'll see you next time here with some more Colorado Rockies.